Okay, what's going on? Welcome to the weekly tactics update. I thought let me not put my face cam on because I want to talk about more the gameplay and let your eyes focus on what changes I'm being made, kind of the old school nil guides. I made a video on why I don't use the 4-2-3-1. I said again it's a top 3 formation inside the game. I made a video on that, so I'm not going to repeat it. But I was thinking, how can I replace it? And although I did try this formation very early on when the game came out, this is actually a new formation inside the game. But structurally, it's the same as the 4-2-3-1. Key difference here is you have left wing and right wingers as opposed to left attacking mids and right attacking mids. Now, what does this mean? Well, on paper, it's basically the same formation. You can see they've both got CDMs. The only difference is that this formation has that central cam, same thing, but wingers. But wingers allow you to do instructions. So you can, for example, put cut inside on your winger, on your lamb or your ram. You can't do that. You can put free roam if you want to. You can put all these instructions, stay wide, and you can put support runs. You can make them target players. You can make them get in behind. You can never do that with a 4-2-3-1 because they're just cams. They just have to get into the box for cross and stay forward. So this gives you more control to adapt the formation. And to be honest, I'm actually preferring it a little bit more. We've also increased the tactics. So I'll go through the instructions first. Stay central, stay forward, get it behind for the striker. The cam stay forward, get it behind. Similar as the normal 4-2-3-1 that I do have. The left wing and right wing, I have them both on comeback and offense. Should be comeback and offense. And get into the box for a cross. Now, I am trying them both on stay forward. This is maybe a bit too attacking, is what I'm probably going to say. So that's why I'd recommend using balance to comeback and offense. But personally, I'm just testing something out just to make it more attacking. I can always, if I'm struggling or I need to close out the win, I can always pause the game and put a comeback and defense and change depending on my opponent. Always be flexible. You want to be versatile with your formations. If you're winning 2-0, you don't want your lamb, your ram, or your left wing, right wing stay forward. So bring them back, put them on comeback and defense. The key thing of becoming a top player is versatility and understanding what to change. The CDMs remain the same. Left back and right back, just put them stay back and overlap. That is it. So very, very much similar to 4-2-3-1. The only thing we've done is we just changed a few things up. We just increased the width just a little bit, just a tiny bit, defensive width, just to kind of make it like the 4-2-3-1 wide. Now, another reason why I like this formation as well, I'll go into make a dedicated video on this, but it's kind of like the 4-2-3-1 wide, but not as defensive. And I found I like this formation, but it's always a bit too defensive. So depth on 44, we've increased from 39. Just 45 is when you enter when the players start man marking. So you're on 44. You don't have to use long ball because now the wingers have getting behind. So you don't actually need to use long ball anymore, but I should get it behind as well. But I would recommend it. I would recommend just using long ball as well. If you still struggle with L1 triggers. Otherwise, balance is perfectly fine. I prefer forward runs, 40 width, 6 players inside the box, 1 corner zone free kick. So this would be the formation that I start the game with. Is kind of what I'm doing. If you want to get better at FC24, I do have an FC24 FIFA School Series. But before you skip ahead, what if I told you if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund you your money? I can say that because I've been running this school for many years and thousands of people have already joined and even stay on. We go over complete in-depth gameplay tutorials showing you the theory of it and then showing you gameplay examples in a structured format. Unlike my YouTube channel, they are a progressive learning system teaching you everything from the core mechanics to the meta so you can get better as a whole with explanations that go beyond the scope of my YouTube channel. FC School has already started with new videos coming out every single week. These videos will adjust to the recent patches and updates so you can stay up to date and ahead of your competition. So come join thousands of others in a mature community for those looking to get better. Patreon.com/nilguides or click the link down below. Now when you join, we already have a library of hundreds of videos, more than my YouTube channel in fact, with new FC24 videos getting added constantly so you never run out of content. Remember, the biggest mistake people make is they spend thousands of dollars on FIFA points every single year thinking a team will make them better, but it won't. But now it's time for you to make that change. And don't forget, if you don't get better after 1 month, just send me a message and I'll refund your money. That is the Nil Guides guarantee. Patreon.com/nilguides. Link is down below in the description or click on the pinned comment below. I'll be honest, I've already explained this in the video, but the 4-2-3-1, as I said, it's just too defensive for me. We know how bad finishing is. Going down the wing is the best way of scoring, and playing narrow doesn't really help. But with these wingers, it kind of changed the script completely and allows you a bit more freedom down the wings. And of course, you can always push these plays forward if you want to. But this would be the formation to start the game with on paper. Again, if I'm winning 2-0, I could always just pause the game, put everyone on comeback and defense, or worst case scenario, just change to a 4-2-3-1, lower the width and depth, and there you got a makeshift defensive formation. Then we're going over to 3-5-2. Similar to last week, no changes. It's the one that it defends in. You can, again, don't forget, you can manipulate the video, you can slow down the video, you can increase the speed of the video, you can pause the video, just copy and paste these. But while I explain it, so this is the video, the formation where I explain it attacks in a 3-5-2, as you can see. But when you're defending, it defends in a 5-3-1-1, and that is because these players come back here, Tonali goes there, Llorente goes in the middle, and Neymar comes back to make that right centre mid position. Now, what I want to say is, you ideally want someone who's got good stamina. A lot of you guys also say to me, hey Neil, the 3-5-2, I really liked it because you had the 3 players on stay forward. So if you really like the formation to be a bit more attacking, just put this player on stay forward. Simple. I want to keep things simple this time. Put this player on stay forward. If you want this formation to be more defensive, put this on comeback and offense. That would probably resolve most of your issues, because then for those of you that are struggling, you can make the formation defend in a 5-3-1-1 as opposed to a 5-2-1-2. But the balance 55 depth is similar. You don't want to go too much, especially with a 3-back. Don't go 71 depth, because people are mainly conceding with 3-backs is because their own ability. They need to understand when and where you need to run back with your CDMs. If you lose the ball with this formation, you're going to get countered. You have to understand where you can take a risky pass and where you can't. If you have the ball with your back 3 or your midfielders and you're building up, you should not be losing the ball. So a lot of people say, oh, 3-5-2 is a good attacking formation, but I struggle defensively. The truth is, just don't lose the ball. As I mentioned, you have to be very secure when you're going up. You have to make sure you're secure with the ball, you have integrity, you're not breaking your defensive line, you're not running out with your centre back, and you're not making silly passes. Once you get the ball to the cam when you're in the final third, then you can do whatever you want. But don't lose the ball with your defensive line. The biggest and most common mistake. If you're not too sure, lob the ball from fullback to fullback. And don't forget, this is, if you like the 4-4-2, this is a 4-4-2 with an extra cam. This is a 4-2-3-1 with an extra striker. This is a 4-1-2-1-2 with a left mid and right mid. So anyone and everyone can attack with this formation. If you can't get past with any other formation, this is going to be the holy saviour and holy grail. 40 attacking width and 7 players inside the box. And those are the conservative receptions, as I mentioned last week, to conserve stamina. Then over to the 4-3-2-1. Again, this is Anders' 4-3-2-1. Again, no changes. Not really changed this. I'm just deciding what to do. I maybe might kick out another formation. Maybe I'm kind of thinking of maybe kicking out the 4-2-4. Again, this kind of, it's more of, I wish there was more slots. I wish there was more slots, but I need ideally 6 slots, maybe even 8, which would be probably the best thing. But again, you can just copy and paste these tactics. I've already explained these tactics in my videos. I know most of you guys, for anyone that's new here, I've got dedicated videos for each one of these formations on my channel. Please refer to those. I don't want to keep going over the same videos again and again and again. Otherwise, these weekly tactic updates will end up becoming documentaries. And of course, I can't please everyone. I'm doing the Huang Hee-chan evolution, so that's why I kind of got him in striker. And then when I'm playing champs testing gameplay, I'm kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone anyway by finishing him off. But this is the one basically where effectively the right back joins the attack. So what happens here is the right back goes forward, and that is how you attack, and this player joins the attack. And then when you're defending a 4-4-2. So Rodman goes there, Neymar comes there, and then that's how you defend. To off the ball out of possession, you defend in a 4-4-2. When you're attacking, you attack in a 4-3-2-1 with the right back joining attack. And the good thing with this formation is it's kind of glitched, this formation, as you probably know for many years. That's why all the pros keep using it. In regards to this as well, what I wanted to mention is the reason why I'm leaning away from the 4-2-4 is because this formation with 70 depth is basically this formation defensively. So the only other time that I'm really going to a 4-2-4 is if I'm losing. Now, most of the time, if I'm try-harding, I'm very much rarely losing inside the game unless it's a really top tier play. But even then, I'm passive. I may be losing 1-0, but I'm passive. I'm still on the 3-5 to have time to come back. The 4-2-4 is mainly a formation which is a comeback formation. But the way we set this up is, if you saw yesterday's video, I explained yesterday's video that you can use it to start the formation, or you can use it to basically bring back the game, claw back the game. So if you're losing and you need to go gung-ho, you can just put constant pressure on, and that's it. That's your solution. This will basically, AI will help you out because they haven't patched 71 depth after patch update number 5. So you can copy these as I explained in yesterday's video: long ball, direct passing, high width, corners and free kicks like that. But the way that I do it is I play this, sometimes start the formation with the game with, and I'll explain to you what I mean quickly. Sometimes if I'm versing a weaker opponent, like especially in the first 10, 15, well maybe not anymore, but like in the first 10 games of Foot Champs, for me, in my opinion, I expect to win all those games. So most of the time those players, unless sometimes you may face a good player in the first 2 games, or sometimes you might get 3 good players in a row, it is what it is. I'll normally start off with a 4-2-4, apply pressure, kind of suss the opponent out. If I know my opponent is doing very well, passing the ball around, taking touches away, everything that I've taught you, if they're doing the same thing, they're playing passive, they're breaking out of my press, then I'd use maybe a 4-2-1-3 or a 3-5-2, because the 4-2-4 is good for stomping. Like if you know what smurfing is, like if you play like CSGO or anything and you're playing in the lower division, you can basically just run out and be aggressive, do whatever you want, even in COD for example. So it's kind of me doing the same thing. When I'm versing a weak opponent, this formation just makes me even more overpowered by doing nothing. It just, AI helps me with the 71 depth. It's kind of stupid. So that's why I have it unbalanced, because sometimes I start the game with this formation, but if I ever losing, I can just pause the game and put constant pressure on. The difference between these two is this attacks in a 4-3-2-1, defends in a 4-4-2, this defends in a 4-4-2, and attacks on a 4-4-2. That is the main key difference. That's why you can probably understand why I'm not really using the 4-2-4 as much unless I'm starting the game and going for the stomp. But it's quite boring to play. You have to, with this formation, to start the game with, you have to really concentrate. And everyone will come back in defense, so we can press when everyone is behind the ball. But yeah, you just got to bear that in mind. It's a very good formation to use, but sometimes really a skill level formation. Yes, it's a good comeback formation, but to start the game with, it's a skill thing. There's something that I've figured out from, I have different accounts in different divisions. Something that I figured out is basically from division 10 to about 7, with respect, no one knows what they're doing. No one understands how to play. So realistically, the basics are not in check. In fact, they're probably extended to division 5 now. That's basically what's happening. I know the seasons went back, but that's basically what's happening. Then division, so where this formation really excels, so division 5 to like division 3, and then then you have, I want to say division 2 to 1, and I'm going to say elite here. Where this formation really works is this formation. If you don't know what you're doing, but you're up against someone else who doesn't know what they're doing, they're going to run out with their centre backs, make mistake. Here's where the formation kind of tapers off, and in these divisions is where the formation works. But realistically, it depends on your skill level. Then elite, you have to be really good. It's more of both players are really, really good. You have to bear in mind that everyone moves up divisions because of no relegation. So division is not really a good way of determining skill level, in my opinion, to be completely candid. That's why you got a lot of players in the elite division don't know how to play FC properly. They don't know how to do basics, take a touch away. They're just spamming Travellas and finesse shots. Getting into that division doesn't mean they're elite division player. So that's why I have to explain this. So it's not more, I'm not trying to insinuate or anything. I'm just saying that that's why it might work for you in, for example, division 10 and 5, and maybe even 5-3 it works. But as you go towards the upper end, that's when you struggle, because people who you're playing, they kind of suss you out. Hence why people come and they say the tactic stops working. That's how that whole phenomenon started. So it's not a tactic, it's not working, it's that you just can't get away with what you did before because you're versing better players. And then that is it. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video. That is the formation and tactics update. Don't forget, if you want to get better at FIFA School, we got a bit of FIFA FC. You don't come to my Patreon series, patreon.com/nilguides. Don't get better after 1 month, I'll give you money back. It's no guys guarantee. I'll refund your money if you don't get better. That's how sure we are that if you get better. And thanks for watching. Links down in the description. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.